Alright, welcome everybody to round number 4 of AOR Oceania here on the PS4. We're at the Red Bull Ring this time. First off, I just wanted to say there is no footage from qualifying. I had a bit of a glitch, so yeah, there's no footage from quali, so my apologies for that. But we do have pole position just marginally over the two Mercedes, so without further ado, let's go to the race. So as you can see, here we are. We managed to score pole position over Darren and Pete. Qualifying session was very close between about the top 5. Yeah, it was certainly interesting because qualifying, as you can see, was full intermediate conditions from start to finish. Now the race is scheduled to start off dry, but then is actually supposed to rain just after half race distance, and then it is, as you can see, supposed to be heavy rain right at the end of the race. So a quick little run through the setup I was using. I kind of compromised a little bit on what I was ideally hoping to run, but yeah, we managed to survive barely at the end of the ultra soft stint. They were absolutely shot. So you're running with about 4 laps worth of fuel, so we can run in rich mix a lot just to try and get some top end speed going. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying these videos, don't forget to like and subscribe as always, to stay tuned for plenty more. Also, I've created a Discord, Discord chat, so I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well, and a link to the live stream as well. There's 2 parts to the live stream as well.
We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
We had I think Curly had a glitch or something from his end, from what we hear on the stream, but he managed to I don't know, repair, fix, I guess you could say, the original part. So the whole thing is there, qualifying in the race, but the last 4 or 5 laps are in part 2. So I'll leave a link to both parts of the race, and you can go check that out. But yeah, hopefully, as I said, you guys are enjoying watching these races. I'm certainly loving making them, and it's real good fun. I don't know what it is, just something about commentating over the league races is real good, because I mean, I don't know, I guess you don't really have to worry about being taken out. I mean, people can interpret that different ways, but I mean, you know, you go into ranked lobbies or anything, and half the time you either get taken out, you get shunted or something like that, and you don't have to worry about that in league racing. It's hard, and it's fast, and it's just clean, hard, fun, fast action, and you know, that's all I've ever really been about. I mean, I stand by my race how I get raced. People leave me a little bit of room, then I'll do the same. People punt me off, shove me in the wall, well, guess what? I'll wait till you come back around and I'll serve you one up, because I don't stand for that crap. But anyway, enough about what happens day to day. You come around to form up on the grid. Our first pole position as well, is it? No, our second one, because we got pole at Abu Dhabi last season. Unfortunately, that race wasn't streamed, but anywho, we will digress from that. Formed up on the grid now, just waiting for everybody as we come to 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix, and away we go. A bit of a sluggish start actually, and Darren actually remains alongside us as we go up into turn 1. He braves later than us, and Darren takes the lead as we slot in behind him. Now can we try and steal the lead back? Well, we're on the wrong side of the road as we're going up the hill though, and Pete is right there ready to capitalise now. There's been a big accident behind us. I'll bring up a fellow competitor's POV of that in a minute. But yeah, now we're following Darren, trying to still hang tough around the outside. We break extremely late, but so does Darren. He locks up. Now Pete tries to come up my inside. Now we're 3 wide in the middle of the 2 Mercedes, and this was awesome at this stage. It's even more awesome to watch on the live stream. Darren gives us a fair bit of a squeeze, but doesn't quite shove us off the road, so thanks for that. And we managed to just squeak right around the outside. Now we've got the right line heading into the penultimate last two corners. Those were words I just tried to speak and miserably failed. But we go on the inside into the final corner, and that is the lead here at the Austrian Grand Prix again. As you can see, Darren looking, and we managed to cover off, but we braked a little bit too late, make a mistake, didn't get the traction on exit, and Darren has now come back at us. He retakes the lead. Pete now is also trying to have a look at us. We get really deep, and I think at this stage Pete was actually up the inside of Darren as well, but we managed to hang on to second position. Are we going to have a stab at Darren? We're thinking about it. No, sliding behind him, and Pete follows suit. So at this stage it was just a case of, okay, let's calm everything down for a little bit. As you can see, a little mistake gave Pete a little chance to have a little look, but nothing doing for him there, thankfully. So as you can see on the mini-map, there is a big gap behind us top three to Jackson and Pigger, I think it is actually, who benefited massively from the first corner chaos. So as you can see now, following Darren, moves over just a little bit, try break the slipstream. We now have DRS as well, as lap 3 DRS has now been enabled, so rich mixture overtake mode is engaged on the ERS. And can we go up the inside? Yes, we do. Darren actually doesn't defend at all, so that really caught me off guard. I actually thought he was going to defend, but then I realised what he was actually doing. He was waiting for the second bite of the cherry to try and get me back. So we defend to the inside, we try and run him out a little bit wide, and there we go, back into the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Things kind of calmed down for a little bit now. We all just kind of followed each other, pretty similar lap times between all three of us, so things were pretty calm for probably half a dozen laps of this race now. But yeah, that was the start, very intense and awesome start to watch. But anyway, now we'll bring up the POV from Elton's perspective of the start. And here we go, he's going up the inside of a couple of people in the turn one. And as you can see, there's been a massive accident. And does he make it through? No, he just gets clipped by the Renault of Plevs, I think that was. So yeah, real bad luck for Elton there. Almost made it through, but yeah, I don't actually know what happened there originally, but I've seen a couple of different POVs since, and yeah, it turns out
reduce the ERS
one
deployment,
of the
please.
guys just missed his braking point a little bit. Gave oh, I think he gave one of the Renaults a bit of a tap up the backside, and yeah, that was pretty much done and dusted from there. As you saw, cars went absolutely everywhere. My teammate also was involved in that, so that really kind of hurt his race. But as you can see, we're fast forward now on to lap 10. Darren now having a look at us up the inside, gives us a little bit of a squeeze right up onto the curb, but no harm done, we both made it through. So there's now Pete is right there thinking about having a look, but no, and Darren actually makes a mistake. He runs wide, misses the apex, locks up on the right front a little bit. As we're now following through the second sector, no real overtaking opportunities here. I say that, we were running side by side through here the entire lap. That's our first warning for track limits, so we're going to have to be careful throughout the rest of the race not to do that too many times, otherwise we will receive a penalty. So yeah, following on Darren now on the main straight, onto the end of lap 10. Rich mixture engaged, no, we dump it down to standard. Just save a little bit of ERS and maybe just to save a whisker worth of fuel. And now we're going to rich mixture up into medium. Deciding right at this moment not to try and go for the overtake, but if anything that might have actually bit me here, because as you can see Pete now launches up the inside. I didn't actually see him until I literally had started turning in, so that made that fairly awkward between us. But yes, now we've kind of got to worry about Pete as he tries to go for another dive. We're leaving just a little bit of room. No contact was made, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway. And this has made things a little bit awkward for us. As you can see, sliding a little bit. These ultras are absolutely gone at this stage. They have fallen off the cliff. So Darren has managed to escape a little bit. He's almost out of DRS range. We managed to just stay within that 1 second window, which if we had a loss, that probably would have really hurt us. But moving on now to lap 13, we're right under the rear wing of the Mercedes driver again. We try to go for a look around the outside. Brake as late as we're there. Is anything doing for us? No, we've actually broken way too late over the curb. Darren maintains the lead, and now Pete is actually up our inside. You can see getting a strategy change from Jeff. I do not give a rat's about that at this point. We're trying to fend off a Mercedes, but we can't. Pete beautifully slides it up the inside, and now we have a Mercedes 1-2. Now at this point, I knew that if I wanted to win this race, I had to get Pete back. There's no ifs, buts, maybes. I had to get the job done.
Green flag.
Because I had a rough idea what their game plan would be. If Pete could hold me up, allow Darren to get away, then that would probably definitely ruin my streak, as you could put it, for the season. So here we go, up into Rich, overtake mode.
This lap. Push
We've
hard on
got
the
to get Pete back as soon as humanly possible. We'll try to do it up the hill. Beautiful run through turn 1.
46.5
back up in the Rich, fuel overtake mixture on the ARS. Pete has DRS on Darren as well. Now, this is really interesting. Watch here, we brake really late, but Pete brakes even later, misses his braking point, runs right off the road. Darren actually had to open up the steering to avoid a collision with his teammate, and all of a sudden we've been gifted the lead. So from one corner, third to first, that is unbelievable. It's exactly what you want, obviously, only from my point of view, but yeah, Christmas has come early for us right there. And now we lead. Now,
okay, the data is
at this point, we are going to box at the end of this lap for soft compound tyres, I believe. And yeah, as you can see, the Ultra is like at 80%. Now, I moved over here to try to give Darren a bit of a warning, and then, yeah, as you can see, we just completely lost the car. No one decided to drag me to the stewards for that, which I am grateful for, because, yeah, just a lack of concentration there for a split second, and almost completely spun around, and if anything, that would have ruined Darren's race, because he was right behind me. But anyway, into the pits, soft compound tyres, clean pit stop there from the Sauber boys.
Look after these tyres now.
The Mercedes follows us out on these soft compound tyres. Now, as you can see, we emerge right alongside Crossy in the Williams. He's still on super soft yet to stop. But Pete has actually come out behind Contrast back there in the Ferrari. And what was really interesting was Contrast actually has a small amount of front wing damage, which is definitely noticeable on the live stream. So yeah, he managed to have baby at home for the whole race, so GG's to him. I honestly don't know how he ended up where he did, but yeah, he did it somehow. So as you can see, we've now got two cars between ourselves and Pete. I think Pete right at this moment has actually just overtaken Contrast, so now he has to get Crossy. Zeffy has retired and left the session. Nice couple of races for him, unfortunately. But as you can see, Darren now in the pits, and really surprised me when I saw this. He's actually gone onto the super soft tyres. He does manage to pass his teammate Pete a couple of laps later. But as you can see now, fast forward again, 4 laps, Pete is in 4th position, 2nd provisionally. But at this point, and definitely noticeable on the live stream, and obviously from our POV as well, it is starting to rain on lap 20. Now at this point, I know the Mercedes are right with each other, so I thought, okay, any moment now, Pete is probably going to just let Darren go and see if he can chase after me. So as you can see, we haven't got a lot of fuel to play with actually, which did surprise me a little bit. But as you can see, following Pigger now through the second sector, he's on 20 lap old soft compound tyres, and he loses it coming out of that
track is
double
clear.
left hand
Green
as
flag.
we went to turn right. He just lost the rear of the car, and that is it. Tigger is done. So yeah, hard luck for him there. Unfortunately, he was on for a pretty good result. Fast forward again 2 laps. Pink Force India manages to get out of the way nicely. Brake a little bit, well, braked a lot late there. But as you can see now, we've caught up to Jackson, and at this point, I think
A
all
new
of us
strategy
actually
is available
realised
on
that
the MFD.
Jackson was actually winning this race, because at this stage it was time for inters, and yeah, so Jackson is the effective leader of the race, and I about realised this right now. So as you can see, we're doing everything we can to try and get through. But Jack on old soft tyres just has no grip, no turn in. He forces us right out wide, but yeah, there's no harm done, no damage. So as you can see now, we decided at the last minute to follow Jack into the pits for intermediate tyres. DRS has been disabled, or will be in about 5-10 seconds by memory, and Darren follows us in as well. So the whole field decides to follow Jackson and myself. So as you can see now, coming into the pits, intermediate tyres on the car, and there we go.
Up to speed
Now
now.
Jackson
Let's get some
has
heat into
had
those
some kind
tyres.
of glitch in his pit stop where he was actually held for about 10 seconds after the after his car was actually put back on the ground. So yeah, it was really unfortunate for him there, because I was actually thinking coming into the pit, you know, I might actually have a ding-dong battle on my hands here for the last a dozen laps, but turns out it wasn't to be. So now we lead by 5 seconds over Darren. Jackson still holds the last podium position in P3, but I think Pete is right behind him, so he'll be coming under immense pressure
DRS will be
very, very shortly. But it was a race of high electrician as we get past Elton there. So yeah, at this point it was a case of just try and open the gap as big as we can for a couple of laps, which I feel like I managed to accomplish that fairly well. Yeah, but nothing really happened for the rest of the race on our side. We opened the gap to Darren.
Heavy rain arriving in under 10 minutes.
I don't know if he just didn't have anything for us, or after a couple of laps whether he just decided to consolidate second position. There we go, finally got my sentence out.
This is your final lap.
But as you can see, on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. It is pretty much heavy rain now. As you can see, real dark clouds. The Red Bull Ring is soaked in water. And as you can see, Pete is now up into third. He managed to get past Jackson a couple of laps before the end, which, you know, was unfortunate to him, but at the same time, I think he needed a boost after China, where I think he only ended up P6 by memory. So
the gap to the car behind is
yeah, he certainly wouldn't be happy with that, but I think he bounced back pretty well. So it's going to be another 1, 2, 3 for myself and the two Mercedes, becoming a pretty common theme so far, if you exclude China, where Contrast managed to snatch third position. Well, no, he didn't snatch third position, he was actually pretty damn quick. But coming now to the final couple of corners, and this has been the dream start to season 4 as we round the final corner. That is 4 wins in a row. Grazie ragazzi, get him there. So there you have it, guys. That has been round number 4 here at the Red Bull Ring for Apex Online Racing Season 4. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for plenty more content. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you guys next time.